Mr. Speaker.
Andrew Bailey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's a pleasure to be talking on this Kiwibank bill. Mr. Speaker, I feel sorry for David Parker. I really do. I just cannot understand how he ended up having to front this bill. I think you must have been out of the room when someone was looking around to take it over. And Mr. Clayton Cosgrove is a very lucky man because, Mr. Speaker, this bill has been prepared by someone who does not understand anything about banking or financial arrangements. The first thing I want to say about this bill, Mr. Speaker, is he clearly has no understanding around governance structures and governance arrangements, and that previous speaker just demonstrated it. As most people understand, SOEs have a clear governance structure, as all corporations in New Zealand, and this bill cuts right across it. No minister is entitled to tell any SOE what it should be doing at an operational level. And I think at a principled level, this bill falls over at the first hurdle. The second thing why I think this bill is an absolute nonsense is that it does not constitute what a sale is. No one has actually addressed what a sale means in this bill. So I'll give you 4 examples. 4 examples missing in this bill. First of all, if you raise some cash to fund an expansion, does that constitute a sale? Secondly, if you raise equity to meet increased prudential requirements, as happens with banks all the time, does that constitute a sale? What about issuing quasi-debt, such as convertible debt instruments, as some of my colleagues will understand? Does that constitute a sale? And fourthly, if you're seeking to sell part of the business that may or may not constitute a majority of the bank's asset, does that constitute a sale under the terms of this bill? And, Mr. Speaker, the clear example of this was when I looked at the annual report of Kiwibank just the other day. I note in the recent profit announcement, it said it reported 143 million profit, 46 million of which came from the sale of its Australian business for 95 million.
That's right.
Now, Mr. Speaker, hear what this proposes, and that members of this parliament should, by majority, be telling what banks should be doing, and I just think it's fundamentally wrong, Mr. Speaker.
Mojo Mathis.